Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has made a grave new accusation in an exclusive interview with CBS News, alleging that Russia is not only abducting Ukrainian children, but also training them to fight against their own country. This claim, if substantiated, could constitute a war crime, according to the International Criminal Court. Zelenskyy stated his government has evidence but did not provide specific details during the interview. He emphasized that these children are being taught to hate their native country and its people. This goes beyond previously documented evidence of Russia's state-sponsored program of taking Ukrainian children to camps for re-education or Russification, which led to an ICC arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin in 2023. Zelenskyy also expressed concern that Russia is treating children as combatants, offering to exchange them for captured soldiers, which violates international humanitarian law. He criticized the U.S. government's temporary sanctions relief on some Russian oil sales, suggesting it inadvertently fuels Russia's war efforts, including the abduction program. Zelenskyy hopes the U.S. Congress will impose stricter sanctions, as Ukraine has documented the abduction of at least 20,000 children and believes the actual number is higher, seeking international assistance to track them down. NBC News reports that crude oil prices experienced their most significant one-month decline in 6 years in May, offering some financial relief to consumers at the pump. Global Brent oil fell nearly 20%, and U.S. crude dropped almost 17% in May, though both benchmarks are still over 50% higher than at the start of the year. This price drop was largely driven by President Donald Trump's repeated assurances that a peace deal with Iran was imminent, which fostered investor optimism. Consequently, U.S. gas prices fell by 17 cents per gallon from their peak, now averaging $4.39, still 47% above pre-war levels. However, energy industry leaders like ExxonMobil and Chevron CEOs warn that this relief may be short-lived. With the Strait of Hormuz remaining largely closed due to the conflict in mine clearing, commercial oil inventories are nearing critically low levels. Experts predict a sharp rebound in prices in the coming weeks, potentially pushing crude oil above $150 per barrel and gasoline to $9 per gallon in California, impacting nearly all consumer goods. Al Jazeera reports that Iran has successfully restored gas production at 3 offshore platforms within its crucial South Pars gas field. According to Taraj Dakani, CEO of the Pars Oil and Gas Company, these platforms were not damaged during Israeli attacks in March. Production is currently being rerouted to other processing plants as repairs continue on damaged facilities. The South Pars field, part of the world's largest natural gas field and shared with Qatar, is vital for Iran's domestic energy supply. Al Jazeera's Tawhid Asadi emphasized the symbolic and practical importance of this restoration for Iran, especially after widespread U.S.-Israeli airstrikes on infrastructure, including oil depots. Negotiations between Washington and Tehran are ongoing, with Iran's chief negotiator insisting on securing the country's full rights before agreeing to any deal. UPI reports that French police arrested 780 people late Saturday after celebrations for the Paris Saint-Germain PSG soccer team's Champions League victory over Arsenal turned violent. The Interior Minister, Laurent Nunez, stated that 57 police officers were injured in Paris and other cities nationwide due to the riots. Fans engaged in setting fires, vandalizing businesses, and attempting to storm a police station in Paris. Nunez noted that while most celebrations were peaceful, the violent clashes primarily occurred near the Parc des Princes stadium where fans gathered. French political leaders, including far-right leader Marine Le Pen and Île-de-France region head Valérie Pécresse, condemned the rioters, calling for peace and punishment for those involved in tarnishing the image of Paris and France. According to the Liberty Times, Philippine Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. today proposed the concepts of Archipelagic Sentinel and Guardian of the Freedom of the Seas at the Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore. He emphasized that the Philippines will leverage its strategic geographical location to maintain maritime order and deter China's expansion at sea. Marking nearly a decade since the South China Sea arbitration ruling, Teodoro highlighted the Philippines' role as a convergence point for international law defenders, especially regarding UNCLOS. While acknowledging disagreements among allies, he stressed finding common ground. Teodoro criticized China for ignoring the arbitration ruling and employing a talk-and-take strategy to secure interests in the South China Sea, while also accusing it of bullying neighboring nations and referencing cases of external infiltration. During the forum, Teodoro engaged in bilateral talks with defense counterparts from the United States, Japan, Australia, South Korea, Singapore, and Switzerland, fostering deeper defense cooperation. Discussions included enhancing the Philippines' deterrence capabilities in its exclusive economic zone with the U.S. and exploring the transfer of Abukuma-class frigates and TC-90 patrol aircraft with Japan. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.